혹시 이번 주는 스킵인 건가? Good morning, or maybe evening for some folks.
Morning,
Hi.
Drew.
Morning.
How are you all doing?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good. I don't know, just I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so this is like one of my last things to do before I head out. So kind of happy
We'll
about
make it short.
it. Yeah, sounds great. Well, everything that I need to do this week is piled up on today. So, but no, I've been working on the document. I'm hoping we're pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing so we can start walking through it. And I'm just going to see if Yogesh, Yogesh hadn't said anything to me. So while I get that up, are there any opens that we need to handle?
Yeah. Hey, Drew. Um, Global Summit. I sent you and Yogesh and Jongmin and Roy a couple emails. I did throw an abstract in there for us yesterday.
Oh, awesome.
I don't
Thank you.
know if anybody else had, but I saw the deadline was yesterday, so I mocked one up and threw it in. So we can kind of go from there if we want.
Oh, you're awesome. I was wondering about that last night, and I'm like, oh crap, we should. So
Yeah, so I sent, I mean, to that small group, I just said I sent what I submitted, and it was, a couple rounds with Copilot's help to get us to that version of the abstract. But yeah, I think at this point we have a lot of room for adjustment, whoever wants to present. And I think since I submitted it, I think the presenters are currently listed as you, Drew, Yogesh, and me. But we can adjust that however we need to.
okay, and then we can probably only have two presenters, so um, we can work that out. I'm happy. I think it'd be great if you presented it, Evan.
And I'm happy to, unless somebody else wants to. But
Yeah, I mean, it might be great to have you and Roy or something, or someone else.
yeah,
It really stinks because we have three memory companies here. So
well, it does allow in the submission. It allows you to put two additional presenters. So I don't. Maybe we could try to do the three memory vendors if we want.
yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you for doing that. I
Yeah,
really, really appreciate it.
and I can add anyone else to that email, just kind of discussing the abstracts and everything. Like I said, I put that together pretty quick yesterday. I just wanted to make sure we got something in.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm really, really glad you did. The summit is longer, and Yogesh has been expecting us to get more more time than we have in the past. So
Nice. Yeah,
We'll
last
see.
year hardware management got awfully squeezed. The entire work stream got pretty squeezed, I thought.
well, like two, maybe three presentations, and that was it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, we
And-
had like a few hours that one morning.
Yeah. And we just have so many teams now, so much work going on. So
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That was awesome. I really appreciate that, Evan.
Yeah, so I mean, we can discuss that kind of as we need to in here, go back and forth in email or whatever. But
Sounds good. Um, yeah, so I wish Yogesh was here. I just saw him pop up in the dock. So maybe he'll come. Because he knows a little bit more about what's going on with the presentations. But that sounds great. And if he shows up, we may want to circle back to that.
okay.
So are there any other opens?
Yogesh, is that you on the hardware management work streams login? That just popped up. I thought Yogesh might have joined.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
sorry, I was not feeling well this morning, so just woke up.
Yeah, so we were just doing opens, Yogesh, and so Evan, I'm so happy. Evan put together an abstract for us. So I was just talking about the overall.
So, Ivan, did you not get my emails? Because I emailed you like this like 3 times that
I-
I already
I did
submitted.
not.
Huh.
Yogesh.
So, yeah, so that's what I figured. So last email I addressed to everyone looks like you're not getting my emails. I had submitted an abstract some
Okay.
time ago. So
Great.
you can delete yours safely. It's
Okay, will do.
All right.
I
Thanks,
was
though.
hoping somebody had, but
Yeah, no,
I
I
hadn't
did.
seen anything as of yesterday. So okay, yeah, I'll just go delete mine and we'll use yours, Yogesh.
Yeah, thanks for taking care of that anyway, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's what we need. Okay. Thank you. And so Yogesh, they're saying we have two presenters, but you can have two additional presenters in the form. It would be really great if we have all three memory vendors participating.
Yeah, they don't allow that. That's the thing. Maximum 2 is what they're saying. So
Bummer.
I that's what I wanted to do last time also, and remember they said no, I cannot have that.
But if you submit as a panel, right, then I think you can have more, up to 4, I guess.
Even then, it's maximum 3.
Or panels also 3 plus 1 moderator, right? So like 4.
No, 2 plus 1.
2 plus 1, interesting. Well, actually, at least one better. One more.
Yeah, but panel really doesn't make much. Like we don't. I don't know.
If you have multiple,
Yeah.
let's say, DRAM vendors, right? Then I think again, just my opinion, it might be better to do a panel kind of thing, rather than a just plain vanilla presentation. That brings a lot more audience to our attention.
Or you can call it a panel and give a presentation for your panel.
I mean, that's essentially what happens, right? This is
Yeah.
some presentation and then Q&A. So when you have multiple vendors, right, then a Q&A concept is a lot more appealing. What does this guy say? What does this guy say, right? Presentation is like, a more unanimous presentation of what you are doing kind of thing. Anyway, I'm just thinking. Just a thought.
Yeah, we can find out, but I think it's also a question of how much time we're actually going to get, because the number of submissions is very large. There are so many contributions in hardware management this time. So I think one thing that needs to happen is we need to get a full day for hardware management. If that happens, then things will open up a little bit.
Yeah, even last year that would have helped a lot.
Well, I mean, we got nothing. Yeah, it was bad last year.
Yeah.
I will share in the past also, maybe we should think about just creating a RAS track in parallel from at least half a day or the whole full day. Just a thought.
Do you want OCP to sponsor that? Because they're
So-
not going to do that. They're not able to support you on their own like full projects. So
Yeah, I mean, if there's a sponsorship required, definitely we can consider that. I have to check with my own logistic people. But, venue is already there, right? So piggybacking on that and just creating this. I mean, there's several other work streams they are doing it, right? Networking, I guess. I saw Sonnet was doing before. So there are some work streams that do that. Anyway, this year is too late anyway, so but
Yeah, well,
something
let
to
us know
think.
what you find out, Anil, because that might be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't we get to the doc? I think we're really close. If there are no other opens, is that Yogesh, did you have anything else or?
no.
Okay. Okay. I hope you feel better soon. Okay, so I worked on.
Only thing I would say is probably one needs to remove me from his junk filter.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Ivan, just maybe you need to remove me from your junk filter.
Oh, yeah. Let Yogesh email.
Yeah, somehow.
Okay, so one of the actions I had was to get rid of a table of GUIDs, and we can have it, but I think we're gonna, each vendor will publish a GUID, and like in the RAS API team, we're working on the identifiers to make the round trip, so that you can send CPERs and then associate the CPERs with a CPAD, and the CPAD can go back to the machine that sent the CPERs, and we can target the right thing. And so we figured that out in RAS API. So I updated this to just kind of be consistent with that. And so we're really just talking about the round trip, not the internal so much. And so, oh, and I forgot to get rid of, I'll just do that. And I'm just going to leave out the table. There will be GUIDs that you get, and we will have an API for retrieving them, so that you can associate your CPERs with the right analyzer by just parsing the header. So if that's not controversial, I'm going to unhighlight it, and we'll just keep working our way through. So I didn't change these two, but then I said analyzers shall emit common platform action descriptors for automatable RAS actions and part replacements. And then analyzers shall provide analysis logs that contain additional information in JSON. And that's the decoded stuff. So is that?
Drew, on number one, do you think you need to clarify what you mean by the design, follow the design described in? I think I understand what you're trying to say. It's like the framework, right? That the vendor provides the grid and the matching analyzer kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So I can just say server. I mean, you you say something like server operators. Well, or I can say CSP. So we use CSP in the stock. I think we did.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is say semicolon here, continuing the thought. We'll follow the pattern. That's and associate grids that way. And I don't know what's going on with the little strikeout there. Okay.
Just a quick comment. I know we've been using loosely the CSP and other terminology. From Meta's perspective, we want to use hyperscaler rather than CSP. But I mean, right now it's okay. But just keep in mind that as we build new documents or revise them.
I mean, I'd rather use server operator because it might not even be a CSP or a hyperscaler.
I think we're talking in terms of fleet memory. Do you just want to use fleet operator in this document? The document title, we use the term fleet.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you know, this really should be generic. Okay. And then is this CPAD or?
On that number one, is that pending a document update? Because GUID doesn't appear anywhere in that document that's linked.
Yeah, maybe it's the RAS. Well, the RAS API will describe it in detail. Okay, I'll do this. RAS API. Allow fleet operators to associate grids in the seekers. Yeah, because that's where we worked out the particulars.
All right.
Okay. But it follows the big picture design and then the RAS API, and I'll put a link to the RAS API down below too. Although it's you know, it's a work in progress, but we do have that much figured out.
Is that even like accessible by everyone? I don't think so at this point, right?
Not yet. We're our goal is to publish it shortly though, so we're trying to figure it out. That's why I'm not linking it
Okay.
yet here. We would love it if people would sign the CLA. You know, you just have to agree to contribute to the spec to see it right now, but we'll publish the spec shortly. Okay, and then I don't think we need this here. We'll discover it as we, you know, like it should be discoverable at runtime, not. Should I turn off suggesting? Okay. So anyway, I fixed that. And then what I did is I wrote a little bit of detail here based off of the RAS API. And I changed this to be a little bit clearer that we get a new CPR error log, we have CPR header parsing, and then from that we know which analyzer is involved, and we know, then we grab the logs that we need, send those, and the output is a CPAD. And a CPAD goes back to the host to drive the self-repair.
That's something I've been meaning to ask Drew. I think I missed some of the CPAD background. Is that like an industry standard format? Is there some specific definition for that, or is that something we've kind of defined?
We're defining it in the RAS API.
Okay.
And then our goal is to put it in the UEFI spec with CPR.
Awesome. Okay.
But the reason we're doing it that way is that we need to put stuff in the CPRs that when you analyze the error, have all the coordinates necessary to get a message back to the host.
Okay.
And so like if you have 8 GPUs, which of the GPUs? I might have you know, GPUs from different companies and a SmartNIC and an SoC, and the RAS API is connected to all of them. And so if you get CPRs from that, the CPRs will say it's this GPU's identity, and the BMC or IMA, as it discovers things, will go, oh, uh, I know that this creator ID and there's another ID maps to this particular piece of silicon. And then the cool thing is we're also including an instance ID that basically allows you to tell if someone's already changed the part. Because in some cases, you might have a machine that emits an error, goes down, and someone just replaces a part proactively because they're standing there. And and then later, the analyzer is trying to send the message back, hey, do this action. We don't want to do the action on the new piece of hardware. So we're thinking about how to make that round trip and make sure that the self-repair actions we take are indeed being done on the right silicon.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Sorry, I must have missed the meeting.
It's mainly been a RAS API discussion. We've mentioned it in passing here, though, so
yeah,
it's easy to miss. But that's one of the things that's really exciting about the RAS API. The RAS API is like the biggest thing I think I've ever worked on because it solves this problem in a pretty generic way, so that people, as long as you can get CPRs and send CPADs, you can implement a solution, very, very flexible.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a pretty big statement from you, Drew. You've had a not short career so far.
It's cool. I think the RAS API is awesome. So anyway, okay, I'm going to accept this change if that's okay. And so then, okay. The next thing was to try to clarify the outputs because I was working on these documents. And the reason I was doing that is that I go down here later. I'm going to come back to the change. I'm just giving you context. I come down here and I described, the DFA would put out JSON and CPADs, and those go into the overall analyzer's flow. We have some way to expose those externally. And I think that was what you had asked for, Evan. So that's why I added this, is I'm setting the stage for that.
Yeah, I think that looks good, Drew.
Okay, I will accept it if y'all are okay with it. Oh, wow. I missed the T. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to scroll down. I didn't change anything else because this is all reviewed and approved. And so then we talk about the DFA log output. And so I've already mentioned that we have decoded output and CPADs. And so and the DFA can't do a whole CPAD probably because it may lack some context that the VSFA has, because the VSFA knows how many channels there are, how many memory controllers or whatever. There's additional coordinates. So we need some way to say we want you to do this action on this memory, and then the VSFA understands the a little bit bigger picture of how the overall memory fits into the SoC or whatever, and so it can generate the full CPAD. And I'm going to assume we can work those details out later, or that we can get, maybe have the memory vendors and CPU vendors figure that out somehow. But I there's some work to do there. I don't know that we need it for this rev of the document because I think our focus is on what we want to log. But at least we have the flow. You know, we have kind of a picture of how it works. And this is what we had discussed previously. I'm just trying to document. So hopefully, if it's controversial, please speak up. But I don't think it was, because I think it was what you had asked for, Evan, or someone, one of the memory vendors that had asked for this.
So I think in the parentheses you're just saying the format, right?
I'm
The
sorry?
output. In the boxes in VSFA after DFA stage, you have this kind of stages where in parentheses you have values which basically indicate what format is that
Yeah, yeah,
that particular block will generate output in, right?
yeah, yeah. These are
So
the, oh,
yeah,
that's a good point. Maybe I should change. I see
so
what
it's
you're
kind
saying.
of yeah, some places you're doing it, some places you're not, which I think makes sense, but just for maybe if you can make it consistent, it'll be better.
What do you think I should do here?
So okay, so let's walk it through, right? So
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
say we,
Because it's not clear to me.
why
I
don't you
figured
walk
out
it
it
through
pretty
and then, why don't you walk it through and then you'll see things yourself what you need to add. So you come in from, because on the output side you have like VSFA decode CPER box, which I think generates JSON format, right? Um, so if you go the same way from like, okay, you got a CPER in, then you have your header parser, which is kind of self-explanatory, and then you have a DFA. Now DFA can generate, actually DFA box is generating two outputs, right? One is the JSON format and one is CPAC format, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, okay.
Yeah, so it's not entirely clear there.
So I could enjoy the ugliness while I move things. Oh gosh. Okay. So this would look like, and I'll clean up the arrows later, but I'm just looking at the flow right now. I mean,
Yeah,
is that what you're saying is more
that
consistent?
that is more easy to follow. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It just, you know, when you stare at it a while, it becomes hard to see. So that's
No, I
good.
think you knew what's happening, but I think you're trying to explain to folks, so this is better.
Yeah, that's great. No, it really helps to have people.
And then the bottom two boxes, I don't think you need to make them connected adjacent to each other. I mean, they're just basically two paths. So I mean, sorry, bottom two. Yeah, those two boxes.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want them
No,
connected to each
just
other?
saying that they would
Yeah,
out for
yeah,
the
they're totally
that's
separate
fine.
pieces of codes, right? Yeah.
You know, I need to move these down here and then. Okay. And I'm going to make sure I center that box too. Oops. Okay. So does that look okay?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that when after leaving Google, you become an expert in Google diagrams, so now you're fighting with Microsoft products.
Well, it's because I used the Google products for 8 years, so I'm learning the Microsoft.
No, well, you're really good at it. That's what I was kind of like backhanded compliment there.
Oh, thank you.
Drew has to join Meta to become good in Microsoft applications.
There
You
you
have some
go.
few challenging tools to lure him. He likes bad tools.
I was really good at Word at once upon a time. I'm trying to regain it, but they just keep moving the buttons around. So, you know, that's my message to all these UI people: is stop moving the buttons. Anyway, okay. So I think that's it for that. That was really that looks a lot better. Thank you, Yogesh.
Yeah, that looks good to me too, Drew.
Okay, good, good. I hope so. And so you'll be able to admit something, you know, in the overall decoded.
Yep.
Okay, and then okay, the next is the example, and all I did. So there's one thing that puzzled me. It says, note that the VSA output does not cover DRAM maintenance actions such as regular DIMM replacement. I think it needs to. So that was a puzzle to me. I hope that we don't think that. I mean, like I want the memory bin, Evan, I'm looking at you, right? And Roy and Jungmin. If you all think a DIMM is bad and should be replaced, you need to tell us, and we need to find that out. So
Yeah, and on the other side of that, Drew, it's useful for us to know. You kind of referenced it earlier with the GPU example, but it's useful to know when something got replaced.
mhm.
And it's like we don't need to know the reason. Like you said, maybe somebody was standing there and did a replacement, but
Yeah.
if something got pulled out, that kind of affects all the analysis.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what would happen? The way we're structuring this is that the flow of seepers is the key. So you have a string of seepers, and that string of seepers has the errors and the result of CPADs. So imagine that you analyze a string of seepers and it looks like a bad subword line, and you say, let's do a soft post package repair. And we do that. What will happen is the CPAD will go to the machine and say, do the soft post package repair. The machine, once it does the soft post package repair, will actually log a informational CPAD that says, I got a CPAD and I did this action, and here's the status. The action worked or did not work. And then that's now in the stream of CPADs. So if you are looking at a stream of CPADs, you'll see the errors and you'll see the previous actions that you've taken. So you might have a case where you suggested do a post-package repair, but then we continue to get errors from that DRAM, and you might realize, oh no, wait a minute, it wasn't a bad main word line. It's a bad row address decoder that affects this whole section of the DRAM. And now you can give an updated action and go, wait, never mind, you really do need to replace this part, and send another action. But you can factor the prior actions into your future analysis. So that's the beauty of CPADs coming back as informational CPADs. And if you need to know the whole history of the part when we return a part to you, we just query our database of error logs and send you all the CPADs, and you'll see all the errors and all the self-repairs and whatever that we took. So anyway, I think it's a pretty cool flow. That's why I'm so excited about it, is because it's very simple, but I think it's pretty flexible. It should be adaptable to lots of different scenarios beyond just the cloud service providers and hyperscalers. And hopefully it helps you all. But anyway, I've rambled on enough. As I said, I'm pretty excited about it. But so I'm going to delete this. I think, and then all I tried to do is delete the examples and just said we've created separate fault scenario documents. These documents are tracked in the following document, and you can go there and then I've copied this document for memory into it. And I think that, like Anil and I talked about this, I think he suggested this. This will allow us to get the spec out, and then we can go back and work on scenarios. We can share scenarios between groups. So I deleted the rest of the section, and all of these will be in the other doc. And so with that, I think this is the last part.
So Drew, this section, let's work on it here. The industry enablement, this shouldn't take long. I think we can fill it right here.
Oh,
I didn't get
and we've got this too. So okay, let's do that for a little while, and then I forgot we have something down here too to look at.
Yeah, I mean that filling up that table shouldn't take too long. Let's see what do we need from framework requirement, right? So we have standard input log format. CPAD will adopt it as it is, right? So I think the title column headers is what is the requirement for the FMFM framework. The second one is what is the complementary industry standard available. And third one is, what is the method? I mean, and I think I want to insert links to, or maybe in the reference section, like method is, are we adopting it or are we, trying to modify it? So it could be either adopted by FMFM or it could be, additions to the existing standard or something like that. And then we'll add references in the last section, references section, right?
Mhm.
So the first one is input for log format, right? That should be standard, and we are following UFI CPER, and we'll adopt it as it is. Any argument on the first item number one?
And you mentioned, bookmark to the reference, but like we don't have any bookmarks there. Should we delete bookmark to, or should we add the reference?
Yeah, either way you prefer. Drew, you are the one who's been managing all that aspect. So whatever is your, do you think we should have references to CPER and all that here? I think maybe a good idea to have references.
Yeah,
Or,
I'm gonna scroll just real quick. Okay, I mean, it is, some of it's mentioned here. Yeah, like this is, I can put, the UEFI spec. I guess, I don't know if that's what we want to do. I'm just, sorry, I'm trying to think about how to do it.
yeah, no, I get it. Either way is fine. I think since you already have it, let's try to maybe, that's fine. That's good.
And well, then what I can do is Control
Bookmark.
K, Control V. And now if you click that, you'll go to the spec. You won't go to Appendix N. You got to go find Appendix N yourself. But
Oh, so shortcut for inserting hyperlink like that is you select the text and Control V and find what
Control
was
K,
placed.
Control, like I hit FMFM and I hit Control K, and then
Okay.
you can
Great.
paste the link, or you can pick one of the things it suggests.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. That's good tip.
Control K, that's one of the biggest things I learned at my time at Google.
Okay. Yeah. So
It
that's
works
that.
by the way, it works in Word, and works in Microsoft products too, John.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, this I think we need to, maybe we point to the RAS API wiki.
I think we can point to the what we can do is we can insert a link to the contributed spec, which we are going to revise soon, but that's what will have the information, right? So OCP contributions link, right? And let me see if I can grab it for you.
Okay, yeah, if you can paste the link.
Yeah, I can insert that link, and now I know how to hyperlink that. I can do that. So that's my error.
Okay.
I mean, this table is my error actually. Now RAS actions. Yeah, you can put a placeholder there if you want in the end.
Well, I was just gonna, I mean, we're basing it all off of whatever JEDEC defined for the, like, that made sense to me, right? RAS actions.
Yeah.
The self repair is all based on JEDEC.
Right.
There's
And-
also Linux-based actions, right? Like page offlining.
Oh, yeah.
Linux defines it, or Linux adopts it from JEDEC?
I don't
Well-
think page offlining is defined in JEDEC, but
Yeah, JEDEC has no clue what page offline means. That's not JEDEC space.
So
Okay.
I think what we could do is say hardware
Right.
RAS actions and software RAS
Yeah, I
actions.
like that. That's great.
And then these are I'm just gonna
Kernel
say
OS specific.
dependent, right?
dependent. Okay, that's fine.
Now for the hardware RAS actions, this is a very DRAM centric view, right? What about GPUs and CPUs?
Well, for fleet memory fault management, I think this spec only covers DDR5 at present.
Okay,
And the reason I say that is because that's like, if you look at all the stuff we're talking about logging, we were focused on the stuff that we could log for DDR5. So it mentions things like PMIX that aren't in DDR4. So that's why I just referenced the
Okay.
DDR5 spec.
Sure.
And we want to grow it.
Yeah. So maybe for this table, though, we say DDR5 hardware RAS actions, just to make it clear that this is DDR5 we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's reasonable. And we absolutely want to expand it. I mean, there are HBM RAS actions, and so
Right.
we
Yes.
in the future we'll go through and say, what do we want to log for other memory technologies?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
okay. And then I don't know what I mean. I think this, it's Linux and Windows. I'm gonna mention Windows, but they both do it. So I don't know what to say there. I say refer to OS documentation. How about that?
Yeah. See your local OS salesman.
What do we actually want to capture in the table, though? Is this just specific standards that we've agreed that when we are referencing in this document come from there, or where we want to influence or ensure that parts of this document exist in that other standard? Because the software ones seem like they make a little less sense for what we have compared to saying, the CPAD must be compatible with this, and we got to work with the exact same people from this. But
Yeah, I mean, like in terms of changing standards from this group, at present, the only thing, we're really influencing is the CPAD stuff. Like the CPAD stuff is being geared to support us.
yeah,
The other stuff we're just using as is. I mean, we don't need a UEO. CPER
yeah.
is
No, it's
flexible
the
enough.
same thing.
You can add all this stuff to it, right? So, um, and I don't think we're going to go back and say we want to define a new DDR5 CPER spec. We're just saying, log this however you can, SoC vendors, but when you hand it to the DFA, give it to them in a standard format. So there may be some translation. So I don't know. I mean, Yogesh, what do you think? Like these are the specs that we're intertwined with.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can just say, keep it a little open. I would just say, respective corporate OSS documentation. I think that's probably what it is, right?
Actually, one thing I will suggest is there is at least in the Linux, there is a document where they describe soft page of line, hard page of line, even hardware poisoning concept. So we can put a link.
Yeah, I just added that to the chat.
But I guess John's question was a little bit more meta.
Yeah.
Right, Sean? I mean, I think you were questioning a bigger picture, weren't you?
I'm kind of wondering what the function for this section is, and what we're actually trying to say with these, like one way or the other. Because we're calling it complementary enablement, right? Like in some of these other work streams or places, when we're talking about complementary enablement, like
I think
we need development coordination.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The way I'm reading is this is informational, like the
Yeah, maybe
techniques.
we need to treat this section header title. That's probably what is causing confusion, because we did that way back when 2 years ago we put this placeholder, and at that time the thinking was we'll have to drive some of the changes in the industry specs, but looks like we are adopting. So maybe just change it to that, adoption from complementary industry specs, right?
Do you want to? Do you want to make the change? I mean, you're in the doc, right? Yogesh, could you propose the change real quick?
Yeah, I can.
I mean, just to do it, and we'll take a look at it. I think you have something in mind. I'd like to see it.
Okay, sure.
I think we need to leave the door open where in order to achieve what we are trying to achieve here, there are other industry initiatives where either we may influence them or we adopt them. It could be either, right? We're just trying to clarify that what we are describing here, requirements, may have a correlation with other industry initiatives.
Yeah, I was thinking on the same lines. I was thinking to say relation to the.
Yeah, so this is an informational section, okay? There's no action. We're not recommending anything here at this stage. We are just
That's
trying to
right.
provide clarity.
But let's put a sentence in describing the purpose of the section. Then we have the list, and the list will make more sense, right?
Yeah, the purpose of this section is to clarify the other industry initiatives.
The related, like to list the related things that we're leveraging or something.
Right. To achieve the objective of this document where we are describing FMFM requirements.
So in JEDEC speech, this would be kind of an informational appendix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The reason I'm using informational word because I just came back from JEDEC committee meeting, and I really like it the way they organize, and move with this very methodological way. So there is a terminology called informational where you're not asking for anything from committee, just sharing the information.
Right. Yeah.
So you want to say add a sentence there too, Drew, or you say the title change? Is it
Yeah.
clear enough?
Yeah, and then just the following table lists
You want to say that?
standards related to this work. I mean, I think if you have a short sentence that provides a little context, why do you have the table?
Yeah.
Then because Sean's not the first person that's looked at this section and asked what it meant. So, just like one sentence would maybe prevent us from asking again.
That's fair.
So while Yogesh is typing that out, so I was wondering, like the last two columns, they could just be combined into one in the sense that like complementary industry standard, you just need a link there. You say UEFI CPER, and that could just be a link to, because all of these are adopted by FMFM, so there's no point in repeating adopted by FMFM.
That's a fair point.
And so
we're listing it because it's adopted. Yeah.
That is now, right? Because we did not think that we need to make any changes in any of the industry standards. So for now, it's okay. But like Anil mentioned, keep it open, flexible. So in future, if we ever say, okay, we need to influence some standard to accommodate something we want to achieve through FMFM, then maybe we can change that again.
Also, didn't you, Yogesh, aren't you working out an agreement with JEDEX that we can work on the
that is at the MOU. I had to drive that MOU.
So then we may change the JEDEX standard for Fru ID stuff or influence that and do some work once you have the MOU with the JEDEC in place. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So for now, what Mita is saying is right. We want to. I mean, even if you're just saying the adopted by is okay, Mita, I think we can say that.
What I'm saying is we can remove the adopted by phrase and just have the complementary industry standard column, just have the links that we've now put in the last column.
I think she's saying we could put the spec here.
No, I'd leave it at 3 column, because in future, if the method changes from adoption to something else, then we have to change the column again. I mean, that's okay.
Oh,
I
you're
know
saying
it's right now it's just adoption, but if it comes to influence or alter the spec, then we have to list that. I mean, in the second phase, I think we should have some influence where we see, okay, this is what we need to change the spec for. We have some new ideas of something new that we want to achieve, but it's okay. We can change it then also. But whatever everyone is okay with, I'm okay with that too. That's fine.
So I think for clarity's sake, so we're kind of doing this so that in the future we can change something. But then to me, right now it makes things a little unclear. In the future, when we do want to do that, we can always add in a column, and then it'll be clear what it was for. What do you think, Yogesh, or?
Yeah, I'm deferring. This is Yogesh's section. So I'm gonna...
I think it's and this is a little bit of our communication. Like, for example, we have things like I think keeping the spec name separate, its standard name separate is kind of helpful. Even the lines for hardware software separate. I think I like have a little bit of,
yeah, hardware. I mean, I'm not talking about the rows separation. That makes sense. It's just that the last 2 columns, I'm not seeing what added information is being, being.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That it's okay to keep it separate. Keep information separate columns. That makes it easy to read rather than having a lot of information in one column. So I think the method column is okay to leave it there. And then the link can go in second line, I guess, something like that. Make it more readable.
Okay, yeah, no big deal. I mean, sounds good.
Okay. So if we're done, I mean, are we okay on this section then? Like, we should, because there's some stuff below I think we need to get to too.
Is there anything else that we needed to add other than these 4 lines here?
It'd be nice to have a Windows reference. I've been looking for one, but all my references are internal, so I may come back and add a Windows reference to the row 4.
If you want to add a placeholder, Windows that's why I was saying just leave it open at respective operating systems documentation, and then you can give a link to Linux. Something like that.
Okay.
So that leaves is open, right? So Linux, of course, has everything's in public space documentation agreement.
I found a decent thing
Okay,
for
yeah.
Windows. So I'll put it.
Okay, so we need a link. Is fine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to accept your changes then.
Okay.
Because I mean, now we've seen them. I think we've aligned on it, and okay, I think this is good. So now, what about these things? I think this doesn't belong in the spec. This stuff we need to talk about, but
This is a comment at best, so remove it from there, put in comment to resolve if you want just cleaning it up. I think none of this. I think that okay. So let's go through that. Changes needed in spec. I think we did that. Crawl, walk, run is done. So delete those two. RAS API consistency, delete that one too. And fourth one, C per CPAT, delete that too.
yeah.
And yeah, that one also is gone. So yeah, delete all of them.
And we should probably talk about crawl, walk, run a little bit more too. But you know, I would like to, you know, encourage people to think about a proof of concept where we, you know, some of the newer CPUs are supporting runtime post-package repair. So, you know, that's what I'm advocating right now. Is let's see what we can do with that feature and get it widely used. And maybe that's our proof of concept. You know, we have to execute this full flow using that, and then we can use that as a building block and build all the RAS API capabilities and other stuff on top of it. But that's just, so I don't need to write that. I'm not trying to put that in the doc. I'm just saying verbally, let's think about that. So now we need to clean this up a little bit. And you might as well just, if you link that, let's just accept the change, because that's not controversial.
Yeah, just doing that.
But okay, so we need to work on future work. I'm going to skip over that for the moment because I think this is a pretty good list of things we want to do, and not necessarily the order. So I think I can refactor this and say these are future topics we're going to cover, and that'll be quick for me. I'm going to accept this now. Oh, and I had instructions to move it to a separate doc. I'm sorry. I think this can just go to a separate doc, work and content. Oh, and I'll add these. And I need to go through this and make sure it's consistent with the other glossary. I'll just try to make sure they're aligned. So
I
I will
can
take.
take that, Drew.
Oh, that'd be wonderful if you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would it make more sense to create a separate document, a RAS glossary document, and then all these different documents we're working on could point to that, and then we don't have to worry about synchronizing our definitions?
I think this is a great idea. I was thinking same thing, yeah.
I think it's a good idea, except for there may be terms just used in one document and not the other, and maybe it's okay to include it in the.
If you have a superset glossary, it doesn't hurt. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
Sure.
especially, yeah.
Although a good idea, but I think getting all different groups to align on one definition slow everyone down. Maybe once we're done with version 1.0 of everything, we can extract from all the specs and then compare and
yeah, I think I really like the idea of a common glossary, but maybe we need to just get this out fast first, and then we can reconcile them. And if we find, you know, problems, then we don't get bogged down with the problems. We can, you know, do that in a future spec.
Sure,
So
that
this
makes
is
sense.
Charlie, that's going to be like this is NIA dictionary, right? They publish this dictionary of terms, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be awesome because we can tie the glossary. We want to document these scenarios also, right? Like a huge part of fault management's problems is that nobody knows how to do it except for a few people. We need to spread our knowledge, and so documenting the scenarios and having the glossary, it's like we're going to have specs, but we're also going to have content that show people, you know, how to do things and best practices. And I think that's going to make our group far more influential in the long run to think that way. So I really like the idea. And we just need to get this out first.
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay, so I think Evan, did you come to any conclusions with this big schema?
Conclusions, not yet, Drew. I've taken kind of a look at it and I added some more notes kind of for me. I did start putting some examples and stuff in there, but I still have some cleanup to do. I'm hoping we can review that a couple weeks from now.
Okay, well, and I guess, so here's my question. To have this released in time for the global summit, when do we have to have this document submitted to whoever? Do you know, Yogesh?
Sorry, I was a little distracted. Can you ask again, Drew?
Oh, sorry. Okay, at some point we need to submit this to somebody to make it an official contribution. There's a timeline for that.
Right. No, I think no. This is something I was thinking late last night. We have only one steering committee opening available before the global summit, so I'm going to send a note today to have us have a slot reserved for us so we can get it through. Because that
And-
meets only every 2 months.
And can we do that with the poison doc too? And the
Yeah.
hardware fault management? And the
Yeah,
hardware fault management? I mean, we have a list of
Yes.
docs, right? We've all pushed hard
So
to get.
I was going to send email for 3. I'll send it for 4. I'll include poison doc too if you want to get it through that. Sure.
Okay. And
Yeah.
my proposal for the Appendix C is that if it's hard to reconcile, let's just take it out and put it in the future. If it's easy to reconcile, we can leave it. I just don't know. But I would hate to hold up the list of things we want to log with this when, you know, we can like I think the long pole here is all the firmware necessary to collect the data, and this schema is between the BSFA and the DFA, and that's going to be running somewhere that we can update a whole lot more quickly than firmware. So, you know, my proposal is let's attack the long pole, which is getting the logging done in firmware, and then if we have to delay this, that's not the end of the world. We can do that and still make this usable quickly. So I don't know, Evan. I'm not trying to put too much pressure, but we need to figure this out quickly. So I guess my question, Yogesh, is what's our deadline? When do we have to have this resolved?
The whole document, or that
Yeah.
as soon as possible is I think the right answer, but at the most by end of next month, I think. So we have like 2 or 3 more meetings before we call it done.
Okay. So Evan, I guess for maybe maybe what we do is, Evan, for next meeting, can you kind of be ready to suggest a disposition for this? And
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that should be no problem, Drew. I think we have everything together. It's just a lot of formatting work on our side. And I guess my thought here, since Carlos's mock-up JSON here was kind of a first pass, the thought was to kind of cross compare it with the more detailed version we put together and just make sure everything's included, and then just use the one that Owen had put together and get rid of Carlos's previous example here.
Sounds good.
But we can just make sure that everything's covered, but I don't think we want 2 example schemas in here.
Okay. And I just realized what time it is. Yogesh, you and I need to get to the hardware management meeting, right?
Oh yes. I didn't prepare any slides. I think we'll see if they ask us to present, but
Well, if they do, I can
We'll
pull
make
up the doc and just talk to a picture in the
yeah,
doc.
no, I think instead of going in depth, I think I just wanted to list at high level. They have pretty busy, but let's go and see what happens. I think there's a lot of things to do. Yeah.
Okay, if we're later in this in the list, you can make a slide while they talk.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
Thanks,
you
everyone.
all.
Thanks.
Okay. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.